Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I am so excited to do. It is going to be all about the COLLAB Nebula palette. This is an eyeshadow palette from Kaleidos makeup that was in collaboration with one of my friends, Angelica Nyqvist. So I'm going to be sharing about the palette. I'm showing 3 different looks, including what I have on right now with this palette, and giving my thoughts on it. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's go ahead and get started. I have been so excited about this. I've been so excited to do this video and receive this palette. So again, if you have not seen this for some reason, I am going to link Angelica's video in my description box where she announces the palette. She has swatches in that video and just kind of talks about the process of creating an eyeshadow palette with Kaleidos makeup. Obviously, a huge congratulations to Angie on creating this palette. I think that she did such an amazing job, and I have been so excited for her to announce this. Angelica is someone that I do consider a friend. I talk to her almost on a daily basis, even though I'm in the US and she's in Sweden, and we have connected via YouTube for several years now. We've been able to meet in person and hug each other, which was so great, and we will have that opportunity again soon. And it's going to be so fun when we do, because we will be getting to celebrate this palette whenever that day happens. We are going to be celebrating this palette, and I'm just so excited for her. So of course I wanted to say that up front. This was sent to me in PR from Kaleidos makeup, and I was so grateful to receive this. I was watching the tracking every single day to see when it would arrive, and when I talked about this in my new makeup releases series that goes up every single Wednesday, my Really Bite video, I threw out there, would you want to see 3 looks with the palette? And so many people said yes, and I was like, should I have done that? It made me a little bit nervous. I'm not a makeup artist. I don't consider myself anywhere near that level. I'm just someone who mostly talks about makeup. I like to chat about makeup, review makeup, talk about if I'm buying makeup, makeup tags. I don't do a lot of tutorial style videos over here, but to me, when I looked at this palette, I just feel like there's obviously so many different things, so many different color combinations that you can do. So I thought 3 looks would be fun. So that is what we're going to be doing. Before we jump into the 3 looks, just wanted to give like a brief lowdown on this palette here. So it does retail for $45. It did sell out on the first run. There is going to be a limited restock on February 17th on the Kaleidos makeup website. So I will have that linked down below. So if you want to get it, I would suggest getting it at the restock. I don't know if there's going to be another restock after that. I haven't seen any of that information. So if you wanted to grab it, I would suggest doing it on the 17th. This is a 15 pan eyeshadow palette. To run through the shades, we have Firefly, a fresh mint green sparkling duochrome with a frosty fuchsia shift. 7 of 9 is a satiny and buoyant Caribbean blue matte. Gravity is a sumptuous sour apple and chartreuse green matte. Queen of Blades is a regal, mysterious dark teal green matte. Void and an infinitely deep navy blue matte. In the middle row, we have You're My Only Hope, a luminous lavender sparkling duochrome adorned with white crystal shimmers and a pale blue shift. Naru is a taupe matte with a hint of plum. Astro, brilliant royal blue multichrome with a glimmer of warm violet and teal. Rockhopper is a suave deep gray indigo matte. Cylon is a debonair dark plum matte, and the bottom row is Celestial, a radiant hot pink multichrome with decadent fuchsia and golden shifts. Nova, a glistening amethyst blue sparkling duochrome topper with a warm violet shift. Samus is a creamy peach orange matte. Nebula, a rose gold red sparkling duochrome with a molten copper shift, and Red Giant is a stately deep brick red matte. Okay, I absolutely love the descriptions on the Kaleidos shade names. I did a video using a couple of their palettes last month or 2 months ago, and when I was reading through the different descriptions, I was like, I even mentioned it, like, who does the writing for these shades? Because it is just, instead of just being like, this is a purple duochrome, it just is so much more, which I love that. The packaging on this palette is very fun too. I mean, you'll be able to see in the close-ups, but how it kind of shifts back and forth here. I thought that was really neat. Along with the palette, there's also a card deck that goes along with the COLLAB Nebula theme, which I thought was very fun. And you can also purchase the PR box, like this actual box that it'll come in. The actual palette, it is a little bit, you know, it's kind of like a thicker palette, which isn't always my thing. I'm kind of more into smaller palettes. Like I like 5 pan and like 9 pan palettes and smaller ones, but this just feels like it has some oomph to it, right? And you have a beautiful mirror in here, and I love how like the actual palettes are kind of raised up from here too. I thought everything packaging wise, colors, all of that is so Angie, and it just screams let's have fun with makeup, and I love that. So another reason I was a little bit nervous to do the 3 looks is because Angie and I also have extremely different makeup styles. So I didn't know if people were going to be coming from Angie's channel and like wanting to see me like doing looks like she does, but I'm really more into neutrals, like quick and easy looks, you know, quote unquote like wearable looks, which I know is like such a different thing for everybody, but that's kind of what my style leans to. But again, when I mentioned this in my new makeup releases video, I said this was one that, yes, it does have some color to it, but I didn't feel intimidated off the bat with it. There's such a variety of shades in here, from the mattes to the dual chromes to the multi-chromes. Like, this is just such a fun eyeshadow palette. So that is the rundown on this and the restock. Again, congratulations, Angie. Like, I just feel like this was so well done. Congratulations to Kaleidos on a successful launch. Let's go ahead and hop into my 3 looks, and then I will finish up with my thoughts on the palette. Hello. Okay, starting with look number 1, the COLLAB Nebula palette. So I asked on Instagram, what do you want to see? What color combinations do you want to see? Like, what's going on? And I've been reading through the suggestions all day. There's quite a variety of them. I've seen quite a few requests for a wearable look. For look number 1, I'm going to do something that is really me and my comfort zone and my style. And when I look at it, what are the first colors that pop out to me when I'm thinking like, oh, this is just going to be like my quick, easy Samantha wearable makeup look, if you will. So I am first going to come into Rock Hopper and using a rougher 15 blending brush. I like the mirror in here. I don't know why I made sure to go get my mirror in the other room. Hello, Samantha. So I'm just going to tap in here, dust it off a little bit, and then I'm going to start to blend this into my crease and on the outer part of my eye. This looks to be a pretty deep shade, but I wanted to start with it, just get a feel going. I try not to come in too far with the darker shadows, like you can see here. I do that a lot though, so I'm gonna make sure that I clean that up just because I don't like the darkness to come too far. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more. And yeah, this is a really deep shade, but looks like it's blending pretty easily as we go along. Really focus here on the outer part of my eye. Just, I'm holding the brush at the very end. I'm just really lightly going back and forth in the crease. And I don't worry if I come out too far out here because it's real easy to clean up with concealer or powder or whatever you want. So I'm usually not afraid to bring things out too far. I feel like I'm going to pronounce some of these wrong. Cylon, the deeper purple out here. You, like, of course, like, these 2 shades are immediately what my eyes went to. Also the greens, and I got a lot of requests for the greens, so do not worry. We are definitely doing a green look for sure, but again, kind of, usually if I get a palette for the first time, kind of doing something more me is what I tend to gravitate towards, and then kind of, you know, work out from there. So I'm grabbing my Sonia G brush that came in my Beautylish Lucky Bag, the mini eye booster. Focusing this one like along the lash line and then the outer part of my eye. Right, I'm really liking how this purple is coming out. I really like that first shade too. It almost has like a little, like a hint of like a blue-gray to it. That's really pretty. I'm just gonna take that first blending brush. I'm not gonna add any more product though. And I'm just gonna kind of blend back and forth with those 2 shades. I do love a good purple moment. Give it to me. I found those really easy to blend also, even with the darker shades, with that darker purple especially. I was kind of like, how is this gonna go? But went really well. And then I'm going to come into You're My Only Hope. This one right here, which I'm really excited for. Definitely had to jump into this one. Oh, can never wear these ears for too long. That hurt. And I'm gonna use my finger because I am a changed woman. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, miss. Just gonna go ahead and tap this onto my lid, kind of focusing it on, well, I don't know, like my whole body, I guess. I don't know, where would I put this beautiful shade? Whoa! Oh my gosh. Stop. That looks so freaking cool. I think Bridgerton flashbacks. Okay, let's calm down, Samantha. It's absolutely beautiful. I like a tiny bit of fallout right here. Going in dry, sometimes it helps if you do like glitter glue and primer and all those things, or a damp brush or finger, you know, whatever it is. But wow, that is seriously so cool. So it's so interesting because not exactly the look that I was thinking I was going to come out with, but those layered just, that is really cool. Added some purple liner to my waterline and just a little bit below the lower lash line, but that shade is beautiful and so easy to work with. So to finish off the lower lash line, I'm gonna mix a little bit of Rock Hopper and Naru. I feel like I'm totally saying some of these names wrong, but I'm gonna mix those together on just a pencil brush and run that on the lower lash line. I did clean up just a little bit here, just with some concealer. Bada bing, bada boom, and also in here too. For the inner corner, I'm gonna do a little bit of Nova, just on another pencil brush. Tap that right on the inner part of my eye. It is also really cool. I think that would be really fun all over the lid or as like a topper also. That's kind of what I think with some of these duochromes, because even adding what looked like, you know, in the pan, what looks like a really light purple, adding on top of the deeper shades, it just, that is so much fun. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of mascara for the final look. Just added some mascara to this look and I am loving it. I don't know if it's like the most wearable, maybe out of the palette. It's a little bit more on the wearable side, but honestly, I thought these two shades mixed together were really beautiful on their own. Like just a matte purple smoky eye is something that I absolutely would rock. I love purples and I think they look really pretty with green eyes, but that, I mean, I think that this looks really cool. I had a super simple time creating it. Love my first look. All right, let's hop over to look number 2. Moving over to look number 2, I got a little excited. I did one look off camera because sometimes it's just easier for me to figure out what it is I'm doing, and then I just went in on the other eye. I was like, stop, I'm supposed to be filming this. So back for look number 2 with COLLAB Nebula. I had quite a few requests specifically ask for these 3 shades together. I was like, all right, got it. First, I'm gonna come in with Red Giant, and I'm just gonna take a smaller blending brush. This is actually from SL Miss Glam. I'm gonna like try to spell it all out for you. I am just going to run this all over the lid, but I wanted to grab a bit of a blending brush also so I could blend it into the crease. I'm just gonna build that up a few times. This is a really beautiful shade. Ooh. I'm picking up Samus with my Sephora little blending brush here, the Pro Crease 24. I'm gonna blend this into the crease, and then I'm also really gonna take that shadow and focus it right here at the end of the eye. So we're just kind of like really sandwiching that darker shade and then blending these together. This look definitely gave me some Valentine's vibes. The shade Nebula. A lot of requests for this shade on its own, but again, I had a few with these 2 other ones, and I'm just going to once again pick it up on my finger here. And I mean, this one is super gorgeous also. I'm just gonna pick up the Sephora brush. I don't have any extra product on it, and I'm just gonna blend things here. For the lower lash line, I'm just gonna grab the 2 mattes that I used on a Rephr 13 pencil brush. I'm gonna do mostly the red because I want to bring in a little bit more of that red pink and a little bit of the more peachy color underneath. For my inner corner, I really wanted to use the shade Celestial. This is another shade I saw get requested quite a bit. So So I'm just gonna pop this one right on the inner corner. And this one is such a fun pink duochrome. Pop on these lashes from Nakia Joy Cosmetics in April. Lashes are on. I was trying to say that last part really quick because FedEx had just pulled up and I knew my dog was about to start barking. But my lashes from Nakia Joy Cosmetics are on, and this is look number 2 using the COLLAB Nebula palette. I really like this one also, and it was pretty easy to do. Again, like everyone has a different idea of what wearable is, but this one, I don't want to say it's like more toned down than the first look, but I don't, just like once again, it was super easy to do, and I feel like it's really pretty and it has some oomph without being like all that out there. I don't know, I'm really liking this one. I like these colors a lot. Inner corner is such a pretty pink. Definitely want to use that on my lid too. I mean, so far so good. I'm having a great time. Let's go over to look number 3. We are back for the third and final look for this video with the COLLAB Nebula palette. Obviously playing with the greens today. When I asked on Instagram what you wanted to see, so many people said the greens, and I knew that I wanted this to be my last look because I love greens, and these in here, whew, they were looking fun. So I knew I wanted this to be kind of like my finale look, if you will. So I'm gonna start off with Queen of Blades, which is the really dark, deep, like jewel toned green. And I'm just using, this is a blending eye brush from e.l.f., but it's a little bit more domed and a little bit more dense. So I just wanted something to be able to start to pack this green all over my lid. This is also gonna go on my lower lash line. And I was going back and forth between 7 of 9 or Gravity. 7 of 9 is obviously more blue, so I was like, I don't know, I feel like I should do Gravity. And a lot of people also requested the neon shade, so I was like, let's just go for it, Samantha. So I'm using a Sigma Precision Firm Blender E42, picking up Gravity. And then I am gonna add this to the top of my crease and also the outer corner. Again, kind of with, does it look too, like kind of sandwiching the darker color. So I'm packing this on the outer part of the eye. And then I'm just gonna kind of work my way up here and slowly start to blend it all together. Okay, till it's looking something like so. And then you definitely wanted to take Firefly, of course. So just once again, gonna use my finger with Firefly. Really beautiful, like so beautiful. But just watch, just okay, if you're not paying attention, class, if I could get your attention, I need everyone to look up here, please. Voice is quiet. I've never been a teacher, I don't really know what it is that teachers say, but let's just all pay attention to this part, okay? And this is why we pay attention in class. What in the mermaid waters is this shade? I know it's called Firefly, but what? Like what? Dog started barking like crazy because her food just got dropped off, but that shade is so beautiful. So I'm not going to pick up any more shadow, but I'm just going to use that smaller blending brush to kind of blend the edges there, and then picking up a little bit of Gravity. I'm also going to add that to the lower lash line, and I did use some green liner in the waterline. I use the same lashes that I did in look 2, the Nakia Joy April lashes. Let me just add those. Okay, well, it did a little bit more than just lashes, but it finished off the rest of my makeup, and this is it for my third and final look using the COLLAB Nebula palette. I really like this one. I mean, I like greens a lot, but I just feel like I like purples, and I like pinks, and I like greens, so we did a little bit of everything of my favorite shades out of this palette. And I don't know, do you have a favorite look? But everything was so easy to put together. Even this last look here, using like the neon and the dark green, I was a little bit scared of it, but everything just went together so smoothly. So those are my 3 looks. So let's finish up with a final wrap up on my thoughts. Now that you've seen the 3 looks, to give my final thoughts on this, I will say quality wise, I felt like this was great. I mean, I've used the Kaleidos palettes in the past and I had a fabulous time with them. The mattes are very easy to blend while being very pigmented at the same time. Even using some of these darker shades, I kind of get a little bit nervous. I'm like, oh, like, is this gonna go well? Again, I'm not like a master blender and I have very little patience a lot. That's why I think I like quick and fast makeup looks. I'm an Aries, I'm not known for my patience, so there's that. But these are so easy to blend. Even the neon shade, like, I found that one really easy to use. These shimmers and the multi-chromes are just, they're just on a different level. I feel like that is something that Kaleidos is really well known for, and to have these included in here, so beautiful. Like, this row right here, you can just do so much with this row. I mean, if you wanted to, you could stick with just the mattes, you could come in with the shimmers, you could do any of these shades. I just think would be so gorgeous. So quality wise, I definitely had a really easy time with this palette, really no issues. I will say, like I said in my intro, when I first looked at this, and I've seen sneak peeks of this one, okay? Like, my gears have been turning for a while now. And my first thought was, I'm not really all that intimidated by the palette, even though it's darker and we have some of these jewel tones and it's more colorful. Like, what am I gonna do with it? I wasn't really all that intimidated, but I will say when I was sitting down to film the looks, I did have a few moments of like, okay, what am I gonna do here? What colors can I put together? But I don't always mind that, because sometimes I like to be pushed out of my comfort zone. I like to be pushed creatively, and makeup is a way to do that. I love, you know, so many people that I've made friends with on YouTube, including Angie. Makeup is supposed to be fun. I will never understand why someone else wants to judge people on the makeup that they want to wear, especially makeup that we wash off at the end of the night and that makeup look is gone. Like, I truly will never understand that when people get so upset about what someone else chooses to put onto their face. I for the life of me cannot fathom caring that much. I love that I've been able to find people to watch that are creative in a sense of being able to look at a palette like this and put together different color combinations and beautiful looks. I think that is so interesting and so fascinating, and that's something the palette really gives me. So I know a lot of my viewers are also, you know, not everybody, but I know a lot of people are into these more neutral and like the faster looks, and we kind of like connect it through that way. This one might not be like your go-to, but again, if you want something a little bit fun and different in your collection and something that will push you creatively, this could be a good option for you. But if you really stick to kind of like your basics, there's really not, I think I thought maybe there would be a little bit more of like neutral looks I could do with this one, but I really don't think so. Even the first look I was doing, I was trying to make that like my wearable look, and I loved it. Like, I loved how it came out. Like, oh, not everybody might consider that the most wearable. Again, I always like try to put that in air quotes because it's different for everybody. But there's probably, like, when I go into this one, I don't think I'm gonna be going for just something neutral and simple. You know what I'm saying? So this is gonna be my palette to take me out of my comfort zone. So just wanted to mention that. But if you love colorful makeup and these like darker jewel tones, and just having a palette to me with kind of like endless possibilities, that's what you're gonna get from this one. And the quality is really fantastic. I would highly recommend Kaleidos makeup eyeshadows. I think that their quality is amazing. So other than that, I think that is everything that I have for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing the 3 looks and my thoughts on this one. The dog started barking and interrupted me, and I can't quite remember what it was that I was saying, but probably just a congratulations. This to me is such an exciting release. Fun to see an indie brand have such a successful launch, and it's really fun to see other YouTubers than, you know, like the top 1%. Like when we used to talk about makeup collabs, even just a few years ago, it was typically always the same names we were saying again and again and again. And it's been so exciting in the past year or so to just hear different names and see other people's creativity and visions come to life with some of their favorite makeup brands. And Angelica loves Kaleidos makeup. It is how I heard of Kaleidos makeup, was from her. So this was such an exciting release. I hope that this video helped you. I hope the 3 looks helped you and my review. I would love to know if you already picked up the palette, or will you be trying to grab it on the restock. Again, I will have all of that information down below. Another thank you to Angie and Kaleidos for sending me the Club Nebula palette. And that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give this one a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.